Right, so decided to fire up AMS2. I have a race at Donington in a league I'm doing in ACC, and sometimes what I do is I'll come in and drive a different car, just to different car, different sim, just to get a different feel really for what the track feels like, what it drives like, all that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, I suppose without going into like too much detail and overthinking it, what I do is I just do one or two laps in AMS2. I've done a couple in ACC today. Haven't driven it in about a week. ACC, but yeah, I thought I'd just pop in here, do a quick lap around Donington, and see what it's like in the P1 cars in AMS2. It's only going to be a quick 2 laps, so let's see what it looks like, what it feels like. Oh, the noise. Yeah, the noise of this is incredible. I'm just going to go outside, actually, to the outside view. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, so I'm just doing maybe 2 quick laps just to see how this compares to the ACC version. Yeah, it feels really, really good, this car. This is the Metalmoro P1. So it's basically in the prototype class, raced in the Brazilian series. Um, yeah, it feels absolutely really, really good. Fun to drive. It's got a perfect balance between downforce performance, and it's controllable as well. A bit of tail slide going on. Yeah, a lot of fun, this car in AMS2. I have to say, I've had AMS2 for a couple of months now, probably about 4 months, 5 months, I think. And I know there has been like incremental updates along the way, um, but the force feedback, the detail, and the driving feel over the last 2 months in particular, um, from what I recall, have been huge improvements. Yeah, I have to say, huge improvements. I think anyone that has, there's a lot of ACC people out there now, including me, and I think if you're looking for a sim that, for different types of cars, like these prototype type cars and whatever, I think it's really, really good. Just stop that there. Yeah, it's really, really good. And I really think from the perspective of, what the car feels like, coming from ACC, which we all know is like a quite realistic car handling model. This feels similar, like, it feels very similar what you think is going to happen, you'd expect to happen. It's basically, it's almost like ACC, but with a lot more downforce, given the type of car it is, obviously. And graphically, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Like, looks really realistic. Yeah, I really, really like that. So let's jump out of this then, and let us take a different car. I'm gonna go down into here. So I'm gonna jump into one of the Formula 3 cars now, if I can find one. Again, I think these are the ones taken from the Brazilian F3 Championship. There's two types there. I don't know what the difference is. Guess we'll take this one. And yeah, let's go for it. Again, same thing, just like 2 laps or whatever. Just to see what it's like. I'm guessing it'll have slightly less downforce than the P1 car that I've just driven. But let's see. I'm going to change the setup. Okay, force feedback is where it could be. 10 laps of fuel, yeah, whatever. Let's go. And after this, then I'm going to jump into one of the Formula V8s. Okay, so an F3 car. Let's see what this sounds like from the outside. Sounds great. So let's do a few laps anyway then, maybe 2 laps of this. Yeah, the steering is a bit lighter, I think, as I'd expect. It's not as much downforce compared to the P1 car. A lot of fun this car. Ooh. Almost into a bit of a slide. I think people that are used to different sims, ACC, iRacing, whatever, you tend to focus on the one sim, and AMS2, because it doesn't specialise in anything, tends to be overlooked sometimes, I think. And I have to say, every time I come in and drive it just for fun, I mean, I'm always really pleased with how it drives, the feel, the feedback, the overall driving experience, to be perfectly honest. It's just always pleasantly surprising. Like, it feels nice. I wouldn't claim to be quick at AMS2 or anything. It's not my main sim, of course, but it is good, Like, it feels familiar. It feels what you'd expect from a car, but behaves kind of similar, behaves to what you'd expect. Some other things I like as well that I noticed, the shaking on the wing mirrors as the car kind of gains speed, you know, with that kind of aero vortex kind of buffeting kind of over the small wing mirrors. And when you hit a curb as well, they tend to vibrate a bit more. Yeah, so that's really good as well, the Formula 3 car. Now I'm going to jump into one of those Super V8s. Oh, the noise of that is brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, that's really cool. Again, one of those hidden gems in AMS2. Like, in fact, anyone that hasn't driven AMS2, pretty much everything I've driven so far in this sim is a hidden gem for sure. Where are those Brazilian? I forget what they're called. Brazilian stock cars. Nope. I think we're getting close. Yeah, that's them. So I don't know which one is which. We've got the Super V8. We've got the stock Pro Series. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's choose a nice livery. Yeah, I'll go with that one. So the whole idea is, you know, going from a prototype down to a Formula car or Formula 3, and then into one of these, which, you know, we're getting closer to a GT3 car. At least that's the idea. Bring my feedback down to like 58-60%. Fuel, yeah, I'll just leave everything else untouched. Let me just change the seating position here a tiny bit. That sounds nice. Alright, let's go for it. I'm just going to change the view here a slight bit, because this will look weird when it's put onto YouTube or whatever, but I have a 21:9 monitor, so just change, there we go. Yeah, let's just go with that. It's mainly the driving feel that I'm trying to have a look at anyway, so. Very lazy front, whoa. Very lazy front end compared to the other cars I've driven. Suppose as you'd expect. Feedback at the max there, so strange. So when I tried to, you know, when it was on opposite lock, the wheel was like yanking back and forward. That doesn't happen in real life, and could be pretty damaging to the wheelbase, possibly. Anyway, let's get a lap or two in and see what this is like. be much more gentle with this. Yeah, it's very sloppy compared to the other cars. Difficult to feel sort of what's going on. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe this. It's kind of weird, like the other two cars I've driven fine. If I overdrove them, I knew I was overdriving it. When I made a mistake or when I was a bit sloppy, I knew it was sloppy. With this, I don't know. I can't feel anything what the car is doing until it does it. And when it does it, the feedback through the wheel feels like it's sort of overdone. Like, okay, we're in. Yeah, it's just not good. Yeah, just cannot feel this car. So, in the middle of that slide there, in the middle of it, feel nothing through the feedback. It was as if it was all neutral, nothing at all. And then when it starts to grip up, there's a huge force through the steering wheel, obviously, to, you know, yank it and simulate the tire gripping up. But that doesn't feel good. What I'll do, I'll try one more car. Let us go in to actually GT4 of some kind. Let's take the Beamer, because this will be directly comparable in some way to ACC, and I'll be able to hopefully feel more through the steering wheel, or feel better through the steering wheel, and then I'll jump into ACC and probably do a couple of laps in the M2 CS. But yeah, that V8 car, nice car, but just feels weird. Okay, sounds really good. Sounds good, looks good. And actually sounds like a Beamer too, which is nice. Yeah, initial impressions of this, I can actually feel what it's trying to do, what it's doing. I can feel the weight of it. I can feel it gradually kind of either gaining grip or losing grip, or as we had there, like a push understeer into the braking area. Same again here, I know it's coming. And I know I've ran wide, but I knew I was going to run wide, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm able to actually feel what the car's doing and make those corrections. Where in the stock car that I've just driven a second ago, could not feel that. Yeah, everything is communicated so much better in this car. Even that, I could feel that happen before it happened. Which, you know, is obviously what you're going to get. Yeah, and I can feel the drift. In the other car, could feel nothing. Feel the drift again there. Yeah, so this is good. This is good. So what I'm going to do, I'll park this up, and tell you what. Before I finish up here, I'm going to do one quick lap in the F1 2022 car around here, just to see what it could be like. So livery, we will take. I'm a Max fan, but I guess we'll take. Oh yeah, sure, we'll take Max. He won the last race, didn't he? So let's go for it. So Formula One came to Donington. What would it look like? Now I'm not going to bother with using DRS or any of that stuff around the track. I'm just gonna go straight for it. Holy fuck. This is really fast. This is fast. Well, I can honestly say that car is a party. Man, that feels fast. That feels fast, man. Yeah, I have to say that F1 car. I know I done a comparison video on it a couple of weeks ago against the ones in AC, but it's really good. Like it does actually feel nice to drive. Feels planted, nice and responsive. And you probably noticed while I was driving that you could feel like a lot of kind of work going on the steering wheel. You can feel everything. You can feel everything, and you get the feedback through the wheel. You can feel the twitching in the back. You can feel the axle on the front, or the front axle rather. It just feels really good, really balanced, and you know gives you good information back through the wheel, which is what you can ask for. So that's it, guys. That's AMS2 around Donington. Like I say, doing a few laps in a couple of cars in AMS2 because I have a league race in this coming up in ACC, and the next video we'll be doing a couple of laps on this track in ACC, but maybe in the Ferrari Evo and maybe the BMW M2 CS. And in the race I'll be taking the Audi R8 Evo 2. But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching.